Everybody, let's start over again. Like I said right from the start, big show tonight. We got a couple big announcements. So big that the internet actually muted them at first there. So, but we've been cleared to let them go now. So, good save.
Yeah.
Why don't you start off? Oh, I forgot to. We also have a special guest reviewer. We'll bring him right away, but first let's do a little house cleaning.
I gotta point out there, I appreciate our special guest there not bursting out in laughter there. I saw the chuckle, but that was it.
We're so bad for that.
So yeah, we've got
the tag show
coming up this weekend. We got Mike Ruth, Michael Berglund, who's been putting out some really great work lately. If you haven't been following him, check him out. We've shared a couple of his pieces.
Yeah, he's been doing some awesome auction work. So.
Got our very good friend Hugh Rookwood and Carl Wallace as well, who's another great artist. Waller?
Sorry, yeah.
Waller. Sorry, it's tiny.
I know.
I just call him Carl.
I do too. Carl's Grumpy Carl. And while we're talking about Carl and tags real fast, I will mention that I got my coaster from Carl. He did a long time ago. It just took him being in the States and that, and him being kind of like a Facebook enemy.
Busy man.
He gets very, very flagged often. This is Yogi the Terma Bear. I have a theme of where I take cartoon characters and mash them up with like assassins and bad guys and stuff. So that's Yogi the Terma Bear. That's a hard word to say and write.
Termabator.
Well, I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say
Termabator.
Yeah, that sounded bad. So, all right. The guys from Hugh's contest.
Well, you're looking on that screen, jumping ahead. You're flustered.
I'm watching two screens.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Then there's the guys at Big Country Comics who just dropped, I think, another two. Yeah, another two covers just this week.
One from Hugh and one from Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Conan themed.
Yes. Crom, I think it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's not Conan. It is the Sumerian run. Through a blaze, and it's again, it's not Conan, but it's all the Conan stuff. It's just they're not allowed to use the name Conan.
Yeah.
It's like you can say Peter Pan and that stuff. It's open domain, I believe, public domain.
Yeah.
And it's better because they don't have to hold to like Marvel's guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. More original story stuff.
And then there's 204 Comics as well, who also need no introduction, but we do anyway because we like to talk about them. So Thank you, Ashley and Bobby, for helping us out, getting our comics to us.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, like you had mentioned, there is still our contest going on for the Hugh Rookwood Batman
sketch.
Turtles sketch you did for us a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
I think we definitely passed your goal of 350 or whatever it was.
No, I thought we moved it up to 400.
Was it 400? Okay,
400 or the March anniversary, because you said 350 was too soon. I saw today we're at 353 now.
There we go.
So
it's
getting closer.
That's still going on.
Yeah.
But it's too much housekeeping. I think we've covered everything for now. Let's jump straight into our show here. And let's get our buddy on here with us, Dean from Peg City Comics.
We've had him on before. We brought him back because this week Stray Dogs Dog Days #2 came out, and Dean had a cover for issue 1, and he has a cover for issue 2. So let's bring you on. Hello, Dean.
How's it going, everybody?
Better. I'm glad that you're not muted.
Well, maybe we are all muted. Who knows?
That is true. We are on Facebook. So
yeah. Awesome.
So why don't you tell us about yourself?
I had a chance to read Dog Days 2. It's been on for 2 days. We're into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, so I read my copy 20 minutes ago, just because I was like, I haven't seen it yet, but pretty exciting, I would say. For as a fan of the series, I feel like a sense of closure. Yeah.
Me too. And this book is, I like reading it because the artwork is amazing. It's like watching All Dogs Go to Heaven or Five-O Goes West or American Tail or whatever. Don Bluth art. But it is so disturbing, the story and the feelings that you get when you're reading this book, because it's not really gory or anything like that. It's not slasher, but it definitely hits you in that Silence of the Lambs just preys on your thoughts kind of horror. And with these dogs, these cute, cuddly dogs being a part of it, it is horrifying what happens to these dogs and to their masters. And like you said, these stories are prequels to them and a little bit of after epilogue to some of the dogs too. And yeah, there is some closure and like you said, not just horrifying, but with the closure part, some kind of sentimental, teary value too. So
I'm
Absolutely.
surprised we haven't heard anything for another sequel to this. So far, nothing's been announced that, to my knowledge.
I'm sure there will be something soon enough. I'm sure there'll be some kind of streaming TV show movie thing about this eventually too. It's just it took off hard and fast.
From what I've heard from Tony Fleece is that in reading any interviews is that he's pretty much done with the story.
Uh-huh.
Like he doesn't have anything else to add to it.
Right.
But he also says like never say never type thing. Like
oh, for sure.
It could show up in a like the dogs. Most of the dogs are still around. There's no reason why something else couldn't happen with or new dogs, right?
Yeah, or just like one shots type of thing. Yeah.
I can respect that decision. So many people drag stuff out, so that he's making a conscious decision. Like, here's the story I've told. I wouldn't be opposed to coming back, but this is what it is for now. That's awesome.
Especially because he knows that like the money, but like it's such a moneymaker for Image and for them, I'm sure.
For sure.
So the he could probably easily bring it back and in some way and it would sell just because of the history that has been established. So
well,
kudos to
I was going to say when I was reading my copy of the book, and I'm not sure if it shows in your exclusive copy or not, but at the end of it, they had multiple ads for more upcoming his work. And he's got quite a bit of different work coming up with different like genres in that Image Comics there. So he'll be busy no matter what, Flex. So
yeah, and I think like this, I want to say a year ago, most of us have probably never heard of Trish or Tony.
No,
like I'd seen a couple covers from Trish and stuff like that, but they weren't really thrust into the limelight like they are kind of now. So I feel like they could pretty much put out a lot of things and people will buy it because their name is attached to it.
That's something that this book's done for a lot of people. Like, look how many covers there are, right?
It's become a brand.
Everyone has, put their flair on it or, their little bit on it. And lots of people have started getting new followings because of it.
Yep, absolutely. And I think like it's clearly spurred other books. Like Good Dog recently. I haven't read it, but I've seen it.
I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah.
And it looks like Tony's next project involves a rabbit. I'm not sure where that's going to go.
Yeah, that's that. He's like a rabbit. That's like a G.I. Joe type of rabbit. I saw. Yeah. I saw a book that's on Kickstarter right now, and I think it's almost been reached. I keep seeing it advertised or featured on the Facebook World type of thing. A book called Alpha Dogs, which look like it. I don't know how close it is to Stray Dogs, but obviously something. Trying to take advantage of the the dogs liking in that. So yeah, it's very popular. So I'm
not sure how much detail you guys want to go in terms of the book. I mean, the writing's great, of course.
Yeah.
For people that haven't read it, you should definitely pick up a copy of it, even just like at your LCS, and just like finish off the story. And I think you'll feel good as a reader that you'll feel that sense of like, okay, I'm done. Let's move on.
Yeah, because I had read them all individually, like the first volume, the 1 through 6 or 1 through 5, and I didn't want to read them too often because of so many amazing covers. I wanted to keep them in good shape. So the trade paperback came out a few weeks ago, so I got a copy of that to thumb through in that. So if someone was to pick up that, and then like you said, the last 2 copies of this, because there was only the 2 ones, that would be it. That'd be like the whole series right there, front to end. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
I feel like they're probably going to do a trade paperback at some point with including these last 2 in there.
I would think so, and like all the covers and everything there, like kind of like collected omnibus type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One thing I will say though, like I said, the art is definitely it looks kid friendly in that. If anyone out there is thinking of reading that with your kids,
get it for them. They'll love it.
Yeah, maybe don't. Maybe don't. This is definitely like when we say references like Silence of the Lambs in that, it's very accurate. It's Silence of the Lambs meet like Lady and the Tramp. It's So
Well, it's almost like a psychological serial killer type story.
Oh,
really.
for sure it is. Yeah, it's not a horror story. It's more like that. Yeah.
And I feel like this last book actually brought out that psychological aspect even more so when he started to look at like the way he would prey on his victims and stuff like that. Like it was kind of like super creepy.
Well, there was that one story in there where he goes in there to kidnap a lady, and it was the dog actually fought him off, and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, that's the story right there. But when he's outside, he takes advantage of the situation and goes after the other lady, which we see in the story in that. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's really creepy how it ties together. Well, you were lucky enough to say that you're going to let us raffle off one of your books for one of our
Absolutely.
viewers. So I
Yep.
thought that a question would be good was, who is the cover artist for your books, and what is he normally known for? What cover artist work is he known for? Because he's known for a type of book before he did your book. So
Yep.
sound good?
Sounds good. We'll leave it at that.
Awesome.
And I'll get you that copy, and you can get it to wherever it needs to go.
Yeah, I got to meet up with you sometime because we have some books that we got to exchange as well. So
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much for coming on again, Dean, and we'll talk
Right.
again very soon.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you,
ya.
Dean.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. So that was a little something extra we just kind of added last minute because we were going to cover the Stray Dog Days too. And we wanted to get Dean on there because, like I say, I want to everybody support everybody. I want this community in Canada who all represent each other. It's great to have friendly competition. Everybody wants to make a buck, but nobody should be competing against somebody else, as in a hurtful way. So, well, Dean had that book, we didn't, so let's support him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on.
All right, our second book, I guess.
Mhm.
Our second book of the night.
All right, next guest artist for this book to come on. No, just kidding.
It'll be a long show.
It would be.
All right. Devil's Reign 3. This has been a fantastic series. Each of these, I didn't read the other spin-off title there this week.
I didn't either.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But I've heard good things about it.
Me too. They reference it in this story.
I was looking ahead, and do you know Spider-Man's not getting a tie-in to something like New York street level and Kingpin related till I think middle of next month?
Yeah, it's like the last one of the last issue.
Yeah.
I like this one too. You still got Chip Zdarsky writing it again, continuing on the whole Daredevil run, and Marco Cicchetto doing the art. And art in here is still awesome. That's his. I'm positive that's his art on the cover there. Such clean, crisp lines. Everything looks super detailed. Nothing too murky. Yeah, I'm enjoying this book still too. I know a lot of people are still saying, "Oh, it's just another repeat of Civil War" and that. But which is kind of funny, in this book they actually reference the Civil War themselves too. So even they saying how similar it is in that. But it is a great story. You can see how it started off as two sides type of thing, like anti-heroes and the heroes trying to not be captured. And now you can start seeing Splinter in both sides of the group. Some of the groups are not agreeing fully anymore, having their own ideas and that. Doc Ock's kind of doing his own thing with his superior foes group type of thing.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
I think it's different enough there. Oh, look, Alicia's joined there.
Hi.
How's it going? I think it's different enough from Civil War. Like, it pitted hero against hero, but this one's sort of just pitting people against mass vigilantism in general.
Mm-hmm.
I do see the similarities, but I don't think it's beat for beat the same.
Nope, I agree. I liked it too in that one scene how Ben Grimm and Johnny just show up at the police station to save Spider-Man because he's being all questioned. And he has that looks like a power dampener on his neck there because he's just beat to hell and he's not doing, like, they're just beating the crap out of him in the interrogation room. So yeah, they just walk in and say we're taking him type of thing. And oh man, he was so beat up there, Spider-Man. But
yeah, I haven't read Spider-Man this week, so I don't know if that ties in.
yeah, no, I think with that and something to do, I think the Taskmaster beat the hell of him pretty good too, that last issue. So, all right, that's a good one. I'm really enjoying that one. Halfway through, so there's still 3 more issues on that.
3 more issues and 100 more tie-ins.
No, it's not. It's actually not that many tie-ins, not compared to some other ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's doing better. One we had or don't have for Marvel this week is Doctor Strange. Death of Doctor Strange, which is the final issue.
Mm-hmm.
But we have so much other stuff we had to cut it. But wicked cover for it.
Yeah.
Did you read it? I didn't read it yet.
No, I haven't read it because
Yeah.
I read this stuff first.
I do know they've revealed who the next Sorcerer Supreme is,
Clea.
and that's going to be Clea. Yeah.
I saw that Art Jam, because I have Art Jam on my Facebook there.
Mhm.
Art Jam released his new Doctor Strange 1 cover
Yep.
for an art with
Yep.
him doing Clea, and it looks amazing.
Mhm.
Clea as the Sorcerer Supreme.
Mhm.
Cool.
I think I showed you that one the other day when I was looking it up.
No, I just saw this today, and it wasn't the same one you showed me, I don't think.
Oh.
Unless I just don't remember. Could be.
All right. Next up is...
Oh, look, she said her cats are warming themselves up. I got but I got Napoleon behind me on the couch.
Napoleon's just a really big cat.
He's like a mini deer.
Next up is Superman 78.
Last issue.
And I don't have that picture you sent me.
Of what?
I can probably get it up quickly
You
if
can
I
take
tried.
it off my phone if you want. I can just show it on my phone.
No,
Whatever.
it's fine.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, this one is the last issue of the which would be Superman 3 in the movie series if it was the original Richard Donner stuff. I like this story. It was nothing mind altering or crazy. It's just what you'd expect an old fashioned Superman story to be in the 70s or early 80s. Yeah, you got the final showdown with Brainiac. You have tying up some loose ends with the bottled cities that are being saved. You got Metropolis that get drops from the sky and Superman saves them. So all that stuff kind of gets resolved. It's pretty cool too. Yeah, in this whole series they keep having references to the 80s in it. Like in a couple of the issues they had Richard Pryor in there because he was in the Superman 3 movie. And in this one here they have the Goonies in it. So I showed Tyler a picture of it, and when Metropolis is falling from the sky, they have the Goonies in there, and it says, "Oh, a bad day to take a field trip" or something. So that's what's kind of funny about this book too, or enjoyable. It keeps having these 80s references there, which is something that Wonder Woman 84 should have did, but didn't. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, not much to say about this.
No, but I wanted to cover it because we've been covering it all, and we do like that one way more than the Batman one. So.
I don't know if anyone else has been reading this has noticed, but the Batman 89 series started before this, and it still has 2 issues to go, I think.
No, I think only one more. I think it has done issue 5. I think it's just one more as well.
Is it,
Either way, but yeah, this one started after and finished it first. So.
Yeah, this one was coming out so much more frequently.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Next up, also a DC book, and
this was a good book.
After the success of the show, this would have been a ridiculous one for anyone to pass up checking out just to see what comic book Peacemaker's like.
And it's written by Garth Ennis.
Yeah, it's DC Black Label, so you're not just getting some goofy version or
toned down.
Not toned down.
Yeah.
Peacemaker's a little bit goofy no matter what. He's got a goofy helmet. You can't make that look too serious.
On the show, they're making it pretty cool.
it's cool on the show. That's fair.
So this is Peacemaker Disturbing the Peace, just the one shot. Written by Garth Ennis, art by Gary Brown. Much like we have reviewed some of the other Garth Ennis books, especially that last Black Label one with the Batman. Very dark, very dry, but humorous in some parts, and very, very violent. That's the best way to put it. It kind of, I won't say it's taking off from the TV series, but it's very similar. You have
hitting a lot of the same tones.
Yeah. It is. You have the Peacemaker there. He's sitting outside somewhere, cemetery actually, and he's sitting there and he's being interviewed, / having a session with a psychiatrist, and they're going through his history and how he got to be where he was and certain things, and she's really really enjoying it because she wants to use him in the end type of thing, and kind of turns around on her. So very, very dark, a lot of humor, very graphic, and being Garth Ennis and being Peacemaker, it's very realistic. It's not too superhero-y. So anybody who's like his work on the Punisher,
I was gonna say it's more Punisher.
Yeah, his work on the Punisher, or his work on some of his military stories, his war stories, stuff like that. This would be a good read. And again, being the Peacemaker, so really quite enjoyable. There were so many books I really enjoyed this week that Not that I want to always pick like this is my best pick one, but I don't have a weak pick at all again. So.
It's been a couple weeks. This week has had quite a lot of books finally.
Yeah, and a lot of different books. Like I got a weird list here.
It's a
Eclectic.
variety.
Yeah, and I had some more here that I didn't even put in yet. I'm gonna put in next week because I just had some. That is different books. Yeah,
That's what we did this week. We have like 15 books.
No.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot. It took me forever to get through all of it.
I think there's 11, but okay.
Next up is a new Usagi Jimbo book.
Kind of new.
Yeah,
it's
The Lone Goat and Kid.
Yeah, IDW Stan Sakai. What this is updated release of older stories. So the older stories were in black and white. So now he's recolored them and re-released them, and they're really good. It's this one is one volume of stories, and I don't know how many there'll be, but I'm not too sure on that actually. But this is a great book for anybody who wants to just pick up and read early stuff from Usagi Yojimbo, just kind of get familiar with it. And it's
awesome to see Usagi is coming back out and everyone's getting hyped. I think the whole last Ronin Turtles thing, bringing that back, and really give a jump start to that whole franchise.
Well, and lots of interest in because they keep talking about the Netflix show that's coming up eventually, which is Space Usagi.
Yeah,
and also too,
I think it's also in the future. I think it's like the grandson or the son or the Usagi.
It's Space Usagi.
Yeah,
and also too, much like all the other older independent stuff that has been brought to attention in the last few years, like besides Turtles, but you got your things like your Boone, your Tank Girl, your Goon, your Invincible. Like these are all things that nobody really followed before, and now attention's out there. So that's what's cool too. We don't have a picture of it right now, but Big Country has a nice cover from this too that our buddy Mike Ruth did as well.
Yes.
So, and I actually saw when I read the copy of this today, they have it in the back of the book. Mm-hmm. They showed the all the variant covers, and theirs was the very first one they showed.
Yeah. Mike's is really nice.
Yeah, I like it. Nice.
I do have to say, I love the way that Usagi's drawn here.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It reminds me more of Animal Castle.
Oh, I was going to say, Watership Down or Animal Castle. Less cartoon-like in the eyes. Yeah. And what I like about it, the Stan Sakai artwork, even though it is very cartoon-like, there's so much detail put in there, especially on his robe. Like, to sit there and do all those dots on the robe is... that's one thing I always appreciate about that stuff. He's actually very easy to approach and stuff on Facebook and that. And you'll put a comment out there and a message, and he messages back right away. And he sells a lot of stuff at reasonable prices on his site. It's really neat. Yeah.
Next up, from Zenescope, All Guts, No Glory.
I wasn't gonna do this one at first, and then I did last second because we enjoyed that Possessive one so good last time.
Yeah, what's this one?
This one is kind of, I won't say it's kind of similar. It's very similar to that Soul Plumber almost, where these guys there, they clean up at they're like a cleanup forensics team, but instead of going in after crime scenes, they go in after crime scene cleanup of supernatural stuff. So the government has this team that goes up there and kills and cleans up monsters and whatever supernatural stuff like that, and these guys go in and clean it up afterwards. So the one guy's in high school. It's like his after-school job. Another guy that he runs in and stuff. So that
almost reminds me of that Digger comic that we covered a while back.
Yeah, so very similar. Yeah. This one has a lot of comedy, much like that one we saw, that Possessive. So I could totally see this being made into a movie. But what happens is the guys they get called out onto a run. And they find in a closet what the team didn't clear the house properly, and they find a vampire in the closet. But she only just became a vampire right before, right at that attack, so she hasn't fully turned yet. So they kind of feel bad for her a little bit. So they're gonna try and help her. So the cleanup team, the kill crew, comes back realizing they left their mistake, and they confront them and kind of have a fight and end up wiping out some of them crazily. It's kind of funny and hectic, and it's kind of going from now they're on the run, they're going to help her or not, and so they've jeopardized their jobs. And this one guy's still in high school, and his guidance counselor helped him get his job, this job and he's dating his mom, but nobody knows what this job is, type of thing. So yeah, it's really funny.
Speaking of things that nobody knows what it is, this is Buddy McGill.
Yeah,
This was supposed to come out back in December.
it just came out this week though.
Who worked on this book? Where did this book come
Okay,
from? There's no information.
No, I know. Even on the hard copy when I read it, all I know it's from Advent Comics. They did that comic we did a few weeks ago, or maybe a month or so, called Southside, where the guy was a black guy. It was almost like that Phenom X type of thing, where the black guy had some cornrows and he was like in Chicago. Yeah, it wasn't a very good book.
Don't remember it.
No. So yeah, it was very small. But this book here, I saw was popped up and it was hot. It was starting to sell out places.
Well, it must be super underground.
It is.
You can find almost no information.
Yeah, well, even when you look in the book here, you can't find who wrote it or did the artwork or anything. There's no copyright stuff in it. So it is, it's called Buddy McGill. And what it is, it's kind of a satire of Spuds McKenzie. And what it is now is Spuds McKenzie, after his job of being like the beer spokesman, he is now works for the TSA. So now he's like a super agent for TSA. So it kind of has that Rude Dog and the Dweeb. Oh, I couldn't remember the name of that cartoon before. Now it just came out of my mouth. It has that Rude Dog and the Dweebs artwork to it, 90s cartoon. And he has Silly Adventures where he's a super agent for the TSA, but everybody knows him as the Buddy McGill, but he's actually just Spuds McKenzie.
So for anyone that doesn't believe us, I pulled up the webpage here for League of Comic Geeks, and even they have no information at all. No synopsis,
No, I know.
Nothing.
No.
This is like some old classic underground comic.
Yeah, and the artwork, I can't remember. I'm glad I still remembered that because I was trying to think for it all afternoon. What's that cartoon called? What's that? And then it just came out of my mouth now. Rude Dog and the Dweebs. Do you remember that cartoon?
No.
Oh. I think it was because you weren't born.
That could very well be.
Yeah.
That happens.
But totally 90s, looks like that Spuds McKenzie. Yeah.
The artwork there reminds me of some like Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Rude Dog and the Dweebs, that's it.
Oh,
I enjoyed this book too. But that Buddy McGill, super funny. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, anything I'm seeing online when I was trying to do some research for it was everyone's really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
everyone that could get it.
Yeah, like I said, it's selling out. Super low print, probably.
Next is not a single issue, but it's a trade format. It's a graphic novel.
Yeah.
That's the Tony Schiavone.
Chavoni.
I was saying it out loud. I just noticed.
It's Tony Schiavone.
I know. It said.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's Butts and Seats, the Tony Schiavone story. And as many people here know, and I'm sure it's just common knowledge, I think probably common just for everybody, that, yes, from Source Point Press, that it is, anybody who's a comic fan probably is a wrestling fan. Because they're interchangeable mediums, basically. It's just two different ways to have mythology stories. Mm-hmm. And that's all it is.
That's one of my favorite things when we interview Mike or Hugh.
Wrestling references.
Mike especially. You two just go off and off and on constantly about wrestling references here and there, making each other laugh.
Old school wrestling references, yeah. And that's what's so awesome about this book. This book is from Tony Schiavone and Dirk Manning, and it says Friends. And the reason it says Friends is because there's over 24 artists that do this book. And I know a lot of times when they have these collections, collective groups of artists doing one continuous story, it kind of disrupts the flow. Like anytime they have like an anniversary issue or something like that, a lot of times I find that. But and that could be only like 5 or 6 artists. Where this one having over 24 artists, it didn't feel like that at all. Every page, every story, like in some of these.
Do you have it up here still?
Yeah, it's over there on the shelf. Some of the artist pages are like 1 page long. It's so awesome. And what I really liked about today, too, because I was talking about with Ashley at 204, is that I thought with it being a book you were going to run by one comic company, that they were going to have to get around copyright things. Like I thought they weren't going to be able to say WWE, or they weren't going to be able to say AEW, or they weren't going to say Hulkster or Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
but they don't. Everything is mentioned in its true form. They even have some good stuff and bad stuff in it. Good stories and bad stories. Nothing too offensive, but you can definitely show like his life story. It's not sugar coated too much, and it's just great for anybody who enjoys wrestling, new or old. And it's really awesome to see what for anybody who's had to struggle,
look at that.
like most of us the last few years, that what he's had to go through too. He's gone through, like, he's making lots of money till he was working at Starbucks, a couple of years ago before AEW. He was doing part-time radio gigs for a baseball station and working at Starbucks.
Was he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to read the book there, and he still goes in there and just does it for fun every once in a while because he just enjoys the people.
Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah, really
the AEW there.
Yeah, that's AEW guys. Shows NWO and Hogan and
Yeah.
Vince McMahon. So really interesting book for anybody who is a wrestling fan, new or old.
Yeah, that's a hot take. Wrestling, all the good stuff's at
Good.
AEW now.
Good wrestling term there. You're learning. So yeah, that is a truly a good book, and I know that Ashley has a few copies of those at 204 for anybody who wants them. I was surprised to actually get it. I didn't think because I've been seeing it advertised and mentioned about for a couple of months now on AEW, because they were even mentioning it beforehand, pre-orders and that.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was ever going to be able to get it because being an American thing and that. So I was surprised. I didn't know with Source Point Press either. That when they showed up at the store, so I'm very happy I got it because I am a huge wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's been a couple of books that have crossed into wrestling recently.
Mhm.
Was it The Cage?
That Cage one we like.
There's another one that I've seen that we haven't covered.
There was one that was like a year or so ago that I enjoyed, where it was called Over the Ropes. That was another one that was kind of like that was cool too.
Next up, we've got Duel or The Duel.
It's Duel, yeah.
Duel.
Yeah, and this is a totally small indie comic too. It's called Bliss on Tap.
Mm-hmm.
And this one too is selling out everywhere. So this one and that by McGee, and I'd seen this one before and I had pre-ordered it, but nothing to the extent where it's selling out now because I just pre-order a lot of #1 new stuff.
Yeah.
So what's going on here is that what it is Duel. You got the Curtis Martins doing the writing and Alex McCormack doing the art. And what it is it's modern society, and they have something called Duel, and it's kind of like you're allowed to be part of this network, and it's like a gaming network, but instead of online gaming, you duel each other. So this one guy, his name is Aaron. He is the top guy out there. Like 80 kills. They're allowed to, they don't get arrested when they take part in these kills. So this one high school kid is kind of a loser. He has joined this group. He's got, I guess, a few kills in or something. Or maybe not kills, but he's definitely defeated a few people, so he's ranked on the system a little bit. Now he challenges this world-class killer. So everybody's like, what are you doing, man? So the cops come and tell him, like, hey, man, we're going to follow you, just make sure this doesn't happen and that. The guy who he's challenged, the Aaron guy, he shows, because he has 3 days to withdraw the challenge once you issue it. And then he's allowed to kill you. So then, he shows up in his room a couple of times during the night, and he's like, no, I don't want to kill you, kid. Like, if you're trying to impress a girl or something, like everybody keeps saying the same thing. If you're trying to impress somebody or whatever like that, just withdraw the challenge. You won, whatever. I'm not killing you, type of thing. But if you don't, I'm going to kill you. And he keeps saying, oh man, it wasn't me. And even if it was me, how do you know I can't kill you and that? So nobody really knows what's going on but him. And then towards the end of the story, the challenge does actually go through in that, and it's actually pretty surprising who wins. And I don't want to say who wins and who doesn't win and why, because I don't want to wreck the story at all. But yeah, there's
great. Only 2 people, and if it's a surprising win, then
no, you don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying how or why, but it's pretty crazy. So great book, great story. I think much like not that Buddy McGee one, but much like some of the other books we've covered tonight, this book could definitely get turned into a one-shot movie type of thing, because just so much intense.
Yeah. There seems to be quite a few books in here tonight that have been from smaller publishers.
Which is our shows.
Yeah. Like this one here, we've got New Men.
Yeah, we've been we're not following, but we've covered a few of these Action Lab books over the last few weeks. I really like that one, My Bad. I think it's from them, but that's from Ahoy Comics, sorry. But the Action Lab, we've covered a few of them. New Men here is a little different, but kind of similar as well. It is written by, and I'm totally gonna wreck this name. It's Maruya Adoli, and then the art is Datum Akadei. So I apologize if I said those wrong, because
Conde.
yeah, Conde. I'm just not familiar with them. So this book is the first of, I think it said 6 or 3 issues. I can't remember now. It is a very short intro into the book, so you read the book and you don't really know too much that's going on. It's very, very short, so you can't really base an opinion on it.
Yeah.
But what it is it's kind of a totalitarian. Oh, I can't speak.
Totalitarian.
Yes, kind of society, and so very, very, very much under government control. Rules. No curfew, stuff like that, similar to what's going on nowadays. There's some kind of superhero worship there. Some people seem to think that maybe they could be superheroes if they just believe, type of thing.
It's Kanye's philosophy.
Yeah, it's almost like that, because the people who are in here kind of made me think of Kanye. And then an incident happens like this where somebody's trying to prove that they're a superhero, and somebody else dies, and then this one lady who they show in on the beginning is sent out to deal with the situation. So it seems like she's kind of maybe hunts down for the government these superheroes that do show up in that.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like she herself was one of these people that's kind of working for them now, type thing.
Yeah.
She kind of lets out when they need it. Pretty graphic. Especially with the death scene with this one person who tries to be a superhero and that. So interesting to see where it goes. Nothing totally new. Like I said, kind of familiar story, but again, it's just so new into it we don't really know.
Yeah,
but very interesting.
That's how lots of these smaller books are starting. Then
they build a good story, so it takes time.
Yeah, and it's not go right out the gate like we did that Unteens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not really a smaller publisher, but starts with a story that's familiar to grab your attention, and then after the first issue or the second issue,
it turns
it totally flips it on its head.
Yeah, I agree.
This next one, I didn't even know the publisher for it, but I see it's on the actual trade copy you've got there.
Yeah, and I actually looked into it a little bit more too. So it says there it's Archaea, and it's actually
it's called Cursed Pirate Girl. There, it's up at the top.
Cursed Pirate Girl, The Devil's Cape, but it's actually it was published by Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I found it right there.
Oh, interesting.
So they must have
I want to say right out the gate, for an indie book, and a smaller indie book, not like Image or anything. Mm-hmm. They have it priced at $10, which I think most people for something like this will turn them away
until they see it and feel it.
Right. So once you actually, it's like those ones we like. It's got the nice thick cardstock.
Yeah. And it's not,
but the interior is like
it's artwork paper.
Oh my goodness! The design of it is like old style. Like you open up a manuscript, and it's insane artwork.
Yeah, and it's an insane story. I'll do it. It's it's very, to read it itself is kind of bizarre. It's almost impossible to read. So it's very much and when you read it, it's like reading Lewis Carroll or something like that. Like every page is one artist, writer, and author, and every page is
it's such fine detail. It looks like old printing press, insane detail on them.
Very, very old, very different art, and a lot of it, like I said, feels like
and the paper itself as well. It feels like they've drawn right on it, like it's a strange paper. Yeah, like I said, it's like art paper, and it's very much, like I said, acid trippy Lewis Carroll and then at the center of the book, which totally blew my mind, is they have a huge. You want to grab a corner there just so it doesn't get ripped. Yep.
We have a huge 4-page gatefold pinout, or that's part of the story. So it is so much detail. Again, it's a hard book probably to find because a lot of people probably weren't ordering this. The Curse of the Pirate Girl the Cursed Pirate Girl is another one of these underground characters that came out many, many years ago that had 1 or 2 issues, kind of a Kickstarter thing. And to find that issue now is $1,000, and nobody's really heard of it, right? Because it was so small. So they're trying to bring her back now, and just for the artwork and the book itself is worth $10.
Right,
it's kind of hard to read.
Going to say,
but it's very Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll with a pirate girl. Just trippy as hell, but
Yeah.
so interesting. So anybody who's
That's
an art appreciator, which most
and
of us
that's
are here.
that's yeah, that's a lot of what the comic community is these days, where it's divided between your diehard, you
Mhm.
know, Jack Kirby, Ditko, all those classic stuff,
Yeah.
or it's all the spec guys, or it's all the art guys.
Yeah.
And that art side of things,
That's an
and
art one.
including us and the guys over in Big Country and Tags there,
They're art guys.
they're all art guys. So this is up all of our alleys.
Mhm.
So this one, if you're into the art, is probably the pick up book of the week.
Yes. Oh, I meant to mention is the artist's name and creator is Jeremy A. Bastian. Yeah, awesome book. This is a great book too. An awesome art as well.
Yeah, from Behemoth. It's Quad.
Yeah.
Wicked artwork on that cover. I love it.
Yeah. So Tara is the girl and Elvis is the cat. And it's story and art by Eduardo Schall, or it could be Schall, depending on how he says it.
Yeah.
So, and what this is again kind of a familiar story, but again, depending on where it goes, it is at the end of the 21st century, a massive solar storm hits Earth and wipes out everything mechanical, wipes out society.
Mm-hmm.
Humankind does survive, but no, they're back to basics. So 5 generations have passed, and that's where we are at this story. And the most important people out there are what they call mechanics. And that's what they do. They have to. You can't make anything new. You have to use what's already been out there. So these mechanics are like MacGyvers. They're out there to fix whatever they can.
It makes me think of Mad Max before it got mad.
No, it is. It's like Mad Max. That's exactly what it is. It's that Mad Max type of world. So
Yeah.
they have to figure out how to use all this old technology. So she's a mechanic. She gets called out to a job, and what it's going to be is it's like Tank Girl stories. So she's not working on these deserted places or these desolate places and has adventures on it. Her cat is with her always too. The cat ends up being a little bit more than just a regular cat. So I mean, it's again black and white. So I know that will turn you off right away.
No,
but
not me.
But it was good. The art is amazing in there. Good stories. Again, a little bit formulaic at first, but again, I think it's going to have a lot of expansion into different universes. I enjoyed this one a lot. Quad.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's our last book review tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
It is.
I know it is. It's almost like I spent a couple hours getting it already.
No, it's like when you read them, it feels like there's so much more than we talk about it, and it doesn't. But it's been 40 minutes.
So I don't know how many people have actually been keeping up with Peacemaker. I know there's a few people that have been keeping up with it, but with it being on Crave, not like Disney or Netflix, it's not quite as accessible. Or HBO Max. It's not quite as accessible as those other ones are,
which is a shame because this is like
for people in Canada.
This is probably the best like superhero themed show I've seen in like all of them.
Totally, it's beaten out WandaVision and Loki and Winter Soldier and Falcon, all of that. And Star Wars, I would say it's probably it's as good as some of the stuff in Mandalorian, but this is constantly good.
Boba Fett's been pretty good too, but this one's great because it hits all those spots. Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's super funny, which we all knew. It's vulgar funny, which we all knew. Everybody on the show is awesome. Like Cena, Cena is a good actor, which I know is funny to say, but he's a good comedic actor. But he, especially from his wrestling days and whatnot. The other actors who are in there are playing their parts amazing.
Oh well, this Freddie Stroma that's playing Vigilante is hilarious.
He's awesome. Michelle Williams is awesome. The girl who I can't say her name.
Danielle.
No, the black girl.
Adebayo.
Oh yeah.
It's Danielle. I can't remember her last name.
No, she's awesome. Everybody's great on here.
Danielle Brooks. That's her name.
James Patrick doing the father there is great. But again, not just like whack-em, sack-em comedy. So much character driven and so
there's
much.
There's a lot of whack-em and sack-em in there too.
Yeah, but not just, I said. So then, so much character development. You feel bad for these people. You internalize with them. Mm-hmm. Great show. Awesome.
For a show that's only 5 episodes in, I'm super attached to these characters. I know some of these characters better than I know characters that
Well,
I've been exposed to for years.
it doesn't even feel like 5 episodes in here because it takes so much continuation off from Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing. I love this show.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much about it and spoil it. There's not a whole lot to spoil it,
No,
really.
no.
But I want people to check this show out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have Crave, I'm sure they have some kind of
Equivalent.
trial thing.
Yeah.
Wait till that's out and binge all these at once, because this has become my most anticipated show of the week.
Yeah.
And I hate waiting.
And
I would rather have binged it all at once.
and-
It's hard to wait.
And even Joel, who doesn't want like watching that stuff, he asks, "Oh, is that Peacemaker show out?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for Peacemaker. Next up is Book of Boba. This week was Book of Mando, though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were a bit upset about it because like, well, this is a Boba Fett show, blah blah blah, and I'm seeing either big hate or massive amounts of love.
Yeah, but during the Mandalorian show, there was times where it focused on Boba.
But never full episode of Boba Fett in a Mandalorian show.
Whatever.
So I understand that. But this was a fantastic, fantastic episode.
Yeah, I agree.
This episode, and because before, the people would bash the prequels, right? Episode 1, 2, and 3. But this one was a love letter to those fans. You get... When he gets his new ship built there, and what does he do? He goes and flies it through the
Pod
race
racing,
canyon from.
I thought so too. I thought that was it too.
Then there's just tons and tons of references to. Well, his ship is a Naboo fighter.
Yeah.
From episode 1.
Yeah,
so many
belonged
references.
to the Queen or something. Yeah, it's a good show. I can't wait to see the next episode because now it seems like he's building his like I said, he's building his army, the Magnificent Seven type, Hateful Eight type army. So, yeah, good episode. Nothing too much to talk about, but still a good episode. But I'm still enjoying that Peacemaker way more.
Yeah, I can tell you're telling you, yeah, it's okay.
It's a good show. I did see some people say that they liked this episode.
This one is Easter egg heavy.
Well, that and they said, "Oh, it's awesome because nobody took their helmet off." And I guess if you're an old-fashioned, like not an old guy, or not an old guy, but a guy that likes the old rules where they can never remove their helmet. And that did show up in this story, too, where
they address it.
They kicked him out because he took off his helmet. So, and I watched the credits there, too, in the end, and I didn't see it anywhere. But the big guy that he fought there, like the other Mando.
Jon Favreau.
That's Jon Favreau in that costume?
I don't know if he's in the costume.
Is that him talking?
In the first season or whatever.
Because I thought it sounded like, and it looked like Batista.
No, it Favreau. It should be Favreau because he was playing him in the first couple.
Okay, I just thought it sounded like it was a big guy. It could be Batista.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danny Trejo's not in this episode. I just like that poster, so I threw it up there.
Yeah, well, he's the Scarlac or whatever. No, the Scarlac.
He's the Rancor.
Yeah, Rancor trainer.
Keeper.
Can you imagine that final episode when whatever his little army starts attacking everybody? And he's driving a Rancor.
Yeah.
Or riding a Rancor.
Like a panther. Yeah. That's become a meme everywhere now, hey? Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, Boba Fett doing that. Like a panther.
No.
Oh, yeah. Tamara Morrison's actually having a lot of fun promoting the show.
That's cool.
Next.
Is it news time?
It's news time.
Oh, we got some big news. So, I've been working nonstop pretty much since like last fall, really, just trying to get stuff going from NatDaddy. Can you adjust it? My head's not in it. There you go. Thanks. And so I'm always working behind the scenes trying to get new stuff for you guys or just new stuff for us and just try different things. And some things have worked out, some things haven't. So one of the things that have worked out is our first book that we did, well, we had a tie, but our first book that we put out, we teamed up with J.M. Brandt, the creator, and Theo Paradis for Swamp Dogs. And we've kept in contact with JM, and we like bouncing ideas off us, and he likes bouncing ideas off him.
At least once a week.
Sometimes.
You're like pen pals.
Yeah, well, we want to have him back on the show, but his book got pushed back because the paper issues. But he did say the next 2 issues are coming out on schedule. He said that the other day, by March. So a second issue and the third issue by
Yep.
March. So what we have coming, and we don't have price details yet, but we will soon.
No price details, no dates.
No dates,
Just
but
an announcement.
pretty soon. But these, is it on the screen now? People can see it? Oh, okay. So people can see on the screen now, we have posters for Swamp Dogs. So these are 18 by 24. So you have our posters on the very end, which is by Hugh Rookwood. You have in the center there, that is Swamp Dogs that Casey Parsons did. Do you know who did whose book that is?
Pulling it up.
Oh, I thought you did that, but okay. Yeah, so the Casey Parsons cover for that one, who Casey's a friend of ours too, so that's pretty awesome to get his work up there. That one is from Monkey Comics.
Comic Con exclusive. Oh no, not that one.
Oh.
But that is the same.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, TFAW, yeah. I
Yeah.
know. TFAW, TFAW exclusive.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And the other one there is from John Gallagher variant, which is which one was that through Hive? I don't remember.
I don't know. It doesn't
It
say
says
on
John
here.
Gallagher, so he had his own.
He does quite a bit for Hive, so it may be through Hive.
Yeah, but that's what we have those three covers, and as you can see there, those are some pretty amazing covers. Like I like Hughes, I'm always partial to Hughes, but you got the one from Casey, which is so different. It's like an old school
These are
homage cover.
3 of the best, and JM said 3 of his favorites.
Yeah,
of the exclusives done.
Yeah.
That's why we've been able to do those.
Yeah, because
JM contacted people and said, "Hey, would it be all right if we did some distributing of these posters
Yeah,
or these pictures as posters?"
with at Aftershock there, or sorry, not Aftershock. Yeah, Aftershock. No, Black Caravan. Sorry,
Black
I was
Caravan.
getting mixed up there. With Black Caravan there, JM and Theo own the rights to his work there, so they're allowed to put out these posters. So we are part of that. No, we don't own the artwork, but he does. But with the artist, as long as we feel like we want to kick back a little bit to them, but we want to. So we're not going to charge a lot. We're going to charge enough just to make a little bit of money for cover costs for everybody. But we just wanted everybody to see these because I think they're amazing. And I thought, we've got to have posters. Like if I wanted to get a poster made for ourselves, so like why not get posters made for everybody? So we will have some of these made. We'll have prices come up soon. But if everybody wants any, just let us know. You can start. If you want to jot your name in the comments that you want a poster in that or a set, let us know. We'll figure it out. They're not going to be too expensive. It's not like these are limited prints or anything like that. It's just some posters we're going to print out. So.
Yeah.
That was the smaller announcement that just kind of came together today that we've been working on for a little while, but the big announcement.
Ooh, that's not Taiwan.
And I've been hinting at this for a little while now. I threw out a picture earlier on that we're part of a small group. This is a comic that is coming out called Dreamwalker. It is from Second Skin Comics, and the writing is from Mikey Sutton. And Mikey Sutton is the writer, and he does a webpage called Geekosity. He does reports on comic.
He's on your Lords of the Long Box show all the time.
Right.
So anyone that watches the Lords show, you would recognize Mikey Sutton.
Mikey Sutton is the Black Knight. He's the guy who gives them all their information about Disney scoops and upcoming movies and comics and that. So I've known about them for quite a while. But he's also a writer as well. So he's been working on this book for about 10 years. And even before I started selling comics and stuff like that, I followed their show and I heard about Mikey. So even before we were selling stuff, I was interested in this book. And then when they started to produce the book and started thinking about beginning printing, I reached out to them. They reached out to us. And we were one of the few people to get to sell it. So this book is limited to 1,000 copies. Like I said, it is a horror book called Dreamwalker. You can see on the cover there already. It is pretty graphic. It is not for kids. The artist there, Noel Leon Flores, he's a Filipino artist. He's very huge out there. He does a lot of. He's one of their top artists in what is it? Sorry, in TV and media graphic out there for the Filipino TV shows and that. So, so we're going to have those. So, again, very limited. It's down only 1,000 copies. We're going to have some. We are selling them for...
well, we don't...
Why?
Well, there's nothing's guaranteed yet. I wouldn't put
Okay.
out pricing just yet.
Okay.
If you are interested, same thing as the posters. Put your name down and let us know. And once we have the full information and more solid numbers, then we'll let everyone know.
Yeah. Like I said,
It's still like very early on. When is it released?
February 14th.
Oh, there we go.
It comes out February 14th. So if anybody who wants to take a preview of the book, you can go to Second Skin Comics.
Oh, I've got it here.
I know, and Tyler's going to show it as well, and you can see a preview there, and you can check it out. But it is going to be great. The artwork is awesome. Truly creepy story, especially for anyone who likes horror.
It looks like one of those filters that you can do on your phone or on your computer where it's a solid picture, but it looks like it's been drawn over.
So not only, like I said, what we've done in the past is we've sold comics with exclusive covers. This is the very first time where we are actually helping launch a comic. So and that is issue 1. They've started to they've shown a preview. I'm not sure if it's on the website there or not, but the other night on the Lord's Show they were showing a preview of issue 2. It's coming out as well. So that's all starting to go as well. So yeah, I hope you guys check it out. Not just support us and buy it from us, but I hope you guys just check it out because this is going to be awesome. And I know for a fact that this will be picked up and turned into a show or a movie or something, especially over there in the Philippines. That's where Mikey is. He's not Filipino, but he has part of his family is, and that's where he lives. And they're already trying to get this certain lady cast for it. Like even the lady that's drawn for it was done with her in mind and her permission and that. So this is all in the works already. But we wanted to get you guys to see it because, again, very limited book. Most people are probably never going to hear about this book until it maybe hits about it. Hits into the streaming service. But this is going to be huge. Yeah. So I think everybody should get it. We have about 40 to 50 copies. Like I said, there's only 1,000 copies, and it's not going to be no $25 or $30 book. It's probably going to be between $10 and $15. So
yeah, this is one of those books that again another very underground style. Not widely. You won't be going into your comic store. You won't be going into 204. You won't be going into any stores like that and finding it.
There's only 5 or 6 of us selling it. So the picture, I don't know if you have it available on that picture.
I do not.
Oh, the picture
I think it's on the website.
Yeah, on the website and all that, it has who's on there. I think
there's about 5 retailers.
There's Age of Alaska Comics, I know, and there's IG Comics. There's Comic Tunes and Toys. There's KRS Comics.
Yeah,
and then there's us. Yeah, and there's did I say IG Comics?
You did.
Okay,
or you might.
I think that's all of them.
I think there's about 5 or so.
Yeah, so that's the only ones who are selling it. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty big news. I can't think of anything bigger than that, really. So what else? We got a couple more interviews coming your way. We're filming one tomorrow. Hopefully nothing happens. People have been, COVID issues and whatever, storm issues, internet issues. So we're doing Aaron Bartling tomorrow. So we'll get that up sometime in the next few days. Jason Flowers is going to be next Friday. He had to reschedule. We had him last week, but his family was sick for almost 2 weeks. He told me today with the COVID. So he's will be there next week. And he'll have some exciting stories because he's doing a con this weekend. Probably one of the few cons he'll be doing this weekend. So interesting stuff there.
Wow,
so
one of the few ones he'll be doing this weekend. Probably the only one he's doing this weekend.
One of the few ones he'll be doing is this weekend. Yeah. So everybody, please, stay tuned. If you want to start asking, for copies of posters or books and that, you can. But like I said, in the next few days, we're going to get that information up real fast because Tyler makes me wait. I think that's pretty much it, really. You make me wait. So
I do.
But follow us on all our things. Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Is that it? What's that one? Twitter.
They're all on screen for you.
I was trying to think of the name there. I know that one. So Twitter.
I didn't say tweet or something.
Yeah.
Tweeter.
I was thinking Twitter. And I still haven't done nothing on Whatnot yet because that's down the road. So and there might be a surprise interview this weekend. I'm meeting with someone on Saturday evening that I don't want to talk about yet, but that'll be another surprise interview.
Is she pretty?
No. I won't be showing that filming. So, all right, everybody, stick with the Nat Daddy saying, be appreciative, support everybody, peace out.
See you guys.